Alright guys, finally time for the Sprinter 4x4 build review. It's been a long time coming. It's been about 2 years I want to do this. So let's look at all the parts, and I'm gonna have links to all the parts in the description as usual. Alright, let's look at it guys. Cheers. Alright guys, so here's my matte gray van that I bought. I'm a fan of matte gray, as you can tell. Matte gray everything in my life. Or flat gray is the actual proper term. We got this one in 2017. It was quite a bit of those van around back then, but now they've become complete unicorns. I'm guessing is the supply chain issue is to blame. In Canada, if you wanted to buy one of these, there's basically like 5 in the whole country. So yeah, those unicorns pretty special these days. So we're just gonna go around the outside at first to look at the things we did on the outside of it. So when we bought this is the 144-inch platform. When we got this one, it had nothing. It even had a partition in the middle here, which the dealer removed for us, and they finished it, as you'll see in the inside. The dealer also got us these windows installed, which, you know, they pop out and they have screens. We'll look at those open later. But yeah, basically that was it, and so everything had to be custom made from scratch, and it had these cheesy little tires on there. So first thing we did is we got the Black Rhino wheels. It's the only one that were available, and we were in a rush. We literally bought the van. We were going to Southern California in the snow, so we needed to do tires and wheels right away. I really like the methods. I'm a method fan. I have some methods on this truck. I believe they make the 501s for the van too, and they're pretty sick. But the Black Rhino and the gunmetal, it's so cool. Gray on gray. It's not quite the same gray, but it looks they're freaking amazing wheels. So the 285s on the older. This is not the newest Sprinter platform. On the newer platform, you have to do a whole bunch of trimming. On the old platform, you don't have to do any trimming, and you can fit 285s, which is 33 for those of you who are seeing it that way. Right above here, you can see you got a Terra wagon fender extension. They're badass. They look freaking great. On this side, we also have our water tank here from RB Component. There's going to be a lot of parts from RB, guys. I'm going to have a link to all that. But RB basically represents most of this build. This tank's amazing. Holds a lot of water, and you fill it up right here and super quick, so I love it. On the back we have the RB ladder, which is amazing. All their stuff is painted aluminum so it doesn't rust. We added this hitch. We've had a lot of bad experience with hitches, aftermarket hitch. We ended up with the OEM hitch, and it's by far the best hitch to get. I would never buy another aftermarket hitch after this experience. It's been absolutely terrible. As you can see, it's a 4x4 platform, which is amazing. We got the same window on this side, which is great because again you can see your dead angle. So that one is a must, I think, to do. They have these newer versions now that have a little square that opens up. I think those are cool too. And then here you can see like the S-bar heater exhausts, because we put the S-bar heater underneath the seat, which is an amazing spot for it. It's out of the way, and it's quiet there, and it's far from your bed. So I highly recommend putting the S-bar heater. You know, of course, the control by the bed, but the S-bar heater underneath the passenger seat was a killer idea. We've got just a wrap on the front because I like that whole look of the black stripe. I got inspired from another company to do that. I just think it's a little badass. Blacked out emblem. This is from Terra Wagon right here, the deflector hood. It really helped with bugs because this thing is like a wall, right? So I think it's a must have, and it looks amazing. We've got a 24-inch light bar, which is extremely bright, and we've got the Action bull bar, which I don't know if I can find it online. We got this through the dealer, so I'm not sure if I can find that for you guys online, but I will try. I believe the black dot emblem was also from Terra Wagon, so these guys have a lot of cool stuff. Let's look at the roof quickly. We got some solar up there. We got some solar up here, fantastic fan. And so we kept this side here open for paddleboard, so we'll have like two 14-inch paddleboard on this side, and then while the panels are still doing their job, which is, well, my SD card ran full, so but that was pretty much a wrap up of the top, except for as you guys can see here, we got place for an awning here on this side. If anybody ever wanted to put an awning here, that's part of it. And then what I was just saying before I cut off is that we can put paddle boards up there while having the solar working, which is really kind of impossible to do. Most people have panels that won't allow you to do that. So anyways, so that's a cool feature. Let's look at the inside, guys. All right, so yeah, this fridge is just absolutely gorgeous. So we've done a few different layouts in here. At first we had the galley here, kind of more like if you guys are familiar with the Winnebago Revel. We copied the Revel. We had a table there, and then we had the permanent sort of galley here in the way when in the entrance. You had a kind of corridor to get through here. We liked that for a couple years, but eventually we were just like, oh, no, we're switching everything back around. So we switched everything back around on the other side, and where we couldn't be more happy with that layout. The only thing that was cool with that is we had a permanent table, but we don't care. We think this has a way better flow. It's more feng shui, man. It's just a feng shui. The energy flows through here. Something like that. It does have some kind of flow. So, of course, first thing we did is we added the swivel seat kit. The link for that. It's super good. You don't even need to open the door for this one. So I prefer that because I have a Ford Transit now and I have to open the door and it's so freaking annoying in a storm. The other thing we did first is we did this really awesome shelf from RB. So a lot of things we installed ourselves, like that was some easy things that I did, but a lot of the build was done professionally as well. So the big thing is obviously first thing is you have to insulate your van. Floor insulation in the wall, your walls, the ceiling and all that. So for the ceiling we went with like some kind of like vintage engineered wood, which we kind of kept that theme throughout, but it's not real wood, so it doesn't have this crackly sound like every time you're driving, like all your tongue and groove is moving. Like table's the same kind of vintage wood, and we pushed all our guys to do like dark gray. So the walls are dark gray. Here we have a aluminum plate in this wall, and we have double the insulation. We did reflectix in the floor and everywhere. But we also did normal, regular insulation. So we doubled down. We weren't so happy with the insulation in here. So we got the guy to come. We went back to Calgary and we got him to open the walls back up and put more insulation. It was kind of crazy. So yeah, the floor we went with the coin, what do they call it? Coin something. And the reason is it's really anti-slip. It's hard to clean. It's not the best to clean, but it's for dogs and stuff. It's awesome because it's really the anti-slip, and it's tough. It doesn't get damaged at all. So okay, I'm just trying to go from our steps. So obviously, like the steps is you have to think of everything right away, right? Like we ended up putting all our controls here by the bed. So we got our S-bar heater right here, and our lights. And we got, some stuff to control the front. And then we ended up wiring for 2 speakers back here, which are awesome for watching movies. So you got to think about everything first. And then what I was saying earlier about putting the S-bar heater underneath the seat, that is absolutely brilliant. And not only that, look, you can angle it down onto your shoes. If your shoes are wet, you leave your shoes right here. It dries up your shoes, like, absolutely, like... I can't imagine having this thing underneath my bed. It'd be so annoying. The noise level, like, it'd be terrible. Sprinter doesn't really come with a good sound system, so we added our own nice deck and then a self-powered sub that we stuck right here. Sounds absolutely bassy as hell. It's like a party in here sometimes. And we added, of course, the brake controller, and this thing is unique because it has a third heater. So we have 3 heaters. We have the heater that comes with the van, And we have the heater that is an auxiliary heater that you can just start that and it will heat up your vehicle for 10 minutes for like extreme cold condition up north. I mean, this vehicle was going to be in Alberta, which is really cold, so that's why they have that. And then we have the Aspire 2, which is on thermostat back here, right? So 3 heaters. It's overkill, but it's better than no heater, right? Okay, so the Galley, let's move to the Galley. The Galley is from RB Component, and look at this fridge. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. So the Galley comes with everything. You can even get the fridge from RB, which we did. We went down to LA and we grabbed the parts straight from RB. Like we got some shipped to Canada, but the expensive stuff, we just went down there and just like grabbed it there, and then we got it installed by El Capitan. I'll have a link for these guys too, because they are absolutely masters at building vans. Vans they had there off the hook, but they're like $250,000 US. Okay, so you can build this van for half the price if you go to RB, if you get some RB parts like we did and you install them yourself, or you get them installed by a buddy or whatever, even like a carpenter you will save dozens of thousands of dollars, like hands down. But anyway, we still got these guys to do all of this for us because we were down in LA and they had some time to help us out. And the guy is the coolest. I'm guessing he already climbed the El Capitan mountain. That's why he called his business that, which is one of the hardest mountain to ever climb. Anyway, shout out to these guys and shout out to RB. They're pretty cool too. So this is the thing that comes with RB, with the RB kit. It's a good little sink. I changed the spout on this. I didn't like the one they had. This is a bit better one. And then we added the true induction cooktop, which works off the inverter. Talking about the invert. So yeah, there's no diesel on board. There's no propane on board. Everything runs off the diesel tank. The heater runs off the diesel tank. This is electric. If you don't have enough power, well, you just turn on the van, and the van is silent, so you can use the power. The generator is the van itself. You don't need a Jenny. That's such an outdated idea. Like, I had a truck camper. God, I could never have enough power. You needed to have like a Honda 2000 or something. It's really annoying. I couldn't get enough solar to get the power I wanted. So this van, the 2 AGM battery are under the hood, so they get charged at an extremely fast rate when driving, like literally 5 minutes. Like, they're full. Like, it's so much better. That idea is so much better, to my opinion, than having a generator and having to crank that out. It's so loud and obnoxious and everybody hates you. So everything runs off those huge AGM battery, which fits in the hood of this van. We can have a look maybe at that later. At the end of the video, I'll just do a quick, like, this is where they fit, because there's tons of room there for them. So there's no, plus they stay warm in the winter when you're driving. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. Putting the batteries in there is awesome. We stuck the inverter down here, which is a great place for it. And this is a dual way, so I can charge off a plug too. And then the controller is down here, the solar controller. It would have been great to have some drawers. That's something that I would do. I would get a buddy to make me some drawers in here. And then here we have our inverter, and the plugs are here. We've had all kinds of things in here, like an espresso machine that was always out, and stuff like that. I think we had the espresso machine here on the shelf. That was pretty cool. We could just make a shot when we're driving and stuff. But yeah, this fridge is amazing. I mean, it's just basically, there's no better fridge, to my opinion. Maybe a Dometic or something, but like, look at this. They won't look as cool as this, that's for sure. At first, we installed like all these cabinets, which we got custom made from RB, because they kind of had the lighter color before, and we really wanted the dark gray. I think they offer them now, which they were way nicer than their lighter color ones. So we got all this row installed down there, but then we found we didn't have enough room, so we installed another row on this side, because for us, this van it's been a 3-in-1. It's been our business vehicle, it's been my daily driver, and it's been like our camper, weekend, warrior, adventure. And this thing was always ready to go. Like, all our biking gear was always in here. So actually, it's kind of funny, we would come and change in here all the time. But you know, you get to you go snowboarding, you change in here, you got the heat going. It's like that's the vehicle you want to take snowboarding. That's the vehicle you want to take biking. So you changing in here, even like when weather is bad, maybe it's 10 degrees out, you're changing in the van. So it's been an amazing vehicle for that, because it's been so useful compared to just being a camper. You know, or a helmet. That's some helmet. We got helmet hooks up there. Helmets are always in here. You know, when our dog's chilling in here, he's not getting too hot. We just crank the fan and get him some air while we go ride if he's too tired to go on a big ride. So yeah, it's just been an amazing everyday vehicle for that. I had a truck camper before, and one time I didn't put it on my truck for a year and a half, and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm done. This thing every day. We use it every day. You know, and the beauty of these cabinets and all that stuff from RB, I should mention, is that it's so light that if you're gonna use this 90% as your daily driver, you don't have much weight. Like these things were like something like 10 pounds or 5, like you can pick them up in one hand while you screw them on the wall. Like it's just so light. And this, okay, we should get into the bedding system. Okay, one sec, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. This seat, I guess we didn't talk about this seat. I'll have a link to this seat in the description. It gives you it's not a legal seat belt, but it gives you a safe seat belt because the way I bolt this thing in the ground, it's solid, and I would totally trust this to there's huge brackets underneath. It's not going anywhere in case of an accident, so it is a safe uninsured seat belt, I guess. So I'll have a link for that. Color totally matches, which is amazing. Not the most comfortable ever, but like the color match could not be more perfect. So yeah, and then we went with this what do you call these, porta potty, mainly because I like that the RB has a cover for it. It's also, this one has a plate, so you can bolt it down in the ground. I think it's a very important feature, two important features, because you can make it disappear, and it's also a really good toilet, porta potty. Of all porta potties I've used, by far the best one, so I highly recommend that one, and I'll have a link for that. Fire extinguisher from RB. Okay, the bed system, guys, the bed system. So at first we had a platform bed. Okay, this thing right here, you guys see this plate right here? See this plate right here? This is for a front tire mount for a motorcycle. And you know, I guess I will show this when I switch the bed system in a minute for you guys. But so you can fit a full size motorcycle in here, and we've traveled with 2 mountain bikes underneath here before we put this bed system in, which I'll show you. You can totally like transform it into the high bed again. So we had the high bed. When you have a high motorcycle, we were using the top platform because you can put it up or down. And this is the RB system, by the way. Again, if you have it at this level, you can have 2 mountain bikes underneath with all your gear, a dog. You can fit a lot of stuff in here, and then there's a lot of payload. You know, like if you have a truck camper, then your payload's already maxed out, right? So it's totally a different system. Like this, you still have 2,000 pounds of payload. So you have a motorcycle in here, 2 mountain bikes, and then we had a dirt bike on the hitch. That was the first trip we did down south. It's just we weren't towing. Now we tow this, but we weren't towing. We were really mobile to explore everything we wanted to explore. So anyway, so that was, I'll show you this bed system. I'm gonna put it, and I'm gonna show you in a minute. I just wanted to talk about this bed system first because that's the one we've been using, and there's the one that's in here right now. There's pros and cons to this bed system. It's not as comfortable as the platform bed, and it's not, you have to make the bed. You can put all the bedding underneath here. There's tons of room for bedding and all that. So the bedding is always here. But this for a daily, it's way better because most of the time I have it with the table not there, and the table will be tucked away. So I have a huge alley, and I can lift these up, and these cushions up, and then I just have a van that's wide open. So for me, for doing daily delivery and for changing in here, usually we have our biking gear at the end there. It's been just way better. So yeah, in general, this layout for us has been our number one layout. You can also fit a lot of people in here on the table if you want. And for us, the table was mostly put away unless we were camping and having a cute dinner in here. but we've preferred this layout mostly because this van has been used mostly for business and as a daily more than a camper in the past 2 years. The upper bed system is better if you're going to go for a month, let's put it that way, and you have more storage underneath. But this, being able to walk through the van to load some boxes and load some stuff, it's been absolutely amazing. So I like both bed system, and you have both bed system. Why not have both bed systems if you can have both? Like, to me, it's a no-brainer. So it's a transformer van. It's just the way this van works. It's so useful. That's why you end up using it every day. So all right, I'm gonna change to the other bed system, and I'm gonna move the table over here because we also have a spot for the table here for dinner, and then I'll be back in a couple minutes. All right guys, so I installed the platform bed system from RB. It's in diamond pattern. This is the best fabric they had. It's super nice, and of course you can put whatever mattress you want on here. You don't have to use their mattress. It's a bit stiff, to be honest. If I was them, I would have made it twice as thick. But we had like something on top, and our bed was always made, so we didn't have to mess around with it at all. So this is at the lower level. You can still fit 2 mountain bikes underneath here. Yeah, you can fit more than that. Four mountain bikes underneath here if you wanted to. Just have to take your front wheel off, and it's really a quick little journey there. So yeah, that's what it looks like at that. That's the lower level, and then you can put it, if you want to put a motorcycle in here, a dirt bike or a street bike, you just have to raise the bed. It's not ideal because we added these cabinets. If you're gonna do that full time, I would probably take these cabinets off, and that way it's just more comfy for sleeping. If you're gonna have it on the higher level, at this level it works. I mean, it's an extremely compact vehicle for the amount of stuff you can fit in here. I've also put the window coverings so you guys can see. Those are Terra Wagon. They're super cool, and the fake wood, which kind of funny, kind of matches our wood that we got going on in here. And we got them at the front, the side. There's extra of these guys, and then of course the sliding has one too. And I wanted to show you guys the table on this side. For you know, if you have that bed system, then you can still put the table here. That's what we did for years, and we had dinner countless time in here. And if we couldn't get out through the sliding, we just get out through the front door. It was fine. So I think that wraps it up, guys. I think that wraps it up. The only thing that we had that was cool in here is we had one of them LED light strip underneath this whole cabinetry at one point. And that was really neat because we could just change the color in here. You know, having some blue, and sometimes we were partying, and you know, we had some neat lighting in here. It's been an absolutely amazing vehicle for us. Definitely love it. And you know, with another thing that's cool that you can do is you can sort of flip these doors. One sec. Flip these doors here, and then put your speakers outside. We got these what are they? They're not Pioneer in here. They're really high-end speakers, and they sound great. So when you're at a festival, you can just open the whole thing up. And yeah, it's been a great van. This is what it looks like from the outside. Obviously, if someone was going to run this bed system full time, I would take this side out. You leave a lot more room, and you don't really need both sides. Like, you can just sit already like 3-4 people on the one side, so there's really no point on having the two sides. I think it's overkill. It's great for storage though. There's a lot of storage underneath here, and lots of storage underneath here. So yeah, overall there is actually a ton of storage in here for its size. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. These window cuttings were made so that if someone wanted to put solar at some point, not solar, some windows in the back. For us, we were too scared of breaking them, but it's made to have, like, you know, a window there, and you put some blinds in here. So yeah, that's why these openings. We've been using it mostly for storage. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. All right, guys, so that wraps up the 2017 Sprinter 4x4 144-inch wheelbase build. It's I wouldn't do this as a first build. It's pretty scary when you start spending that kind of money on a build and you're drilling 2-inch holes in your floor of a brand new vehicle. I would start smaller. Definitely this one was a bit scary at times, and it was quite an endeavor, like going into LA and getting all these parts, going to Calgary, getting some stuff done there. It was a lot of work. It's a lot of work, a lot of time. Got stuck in LA for like 9 days when that was getting installed. So yeah, would I do it again? As I usually say, no. If you've seen my bike review, sometimes I say I would never do this again. I wouldn't do this van again unless I had to. If I had the money to go and buy a van that's twice as much, that's already done, I would do it right now, and I have the money to do that now. So if you want to save literally almost 100 grand, go ahead and do this van. I mean, it won't be as, the systems won't be as good as if you go out and buy a Winnebago or, you know, God knows. But you can build this for half the price of what RB sells their van at. And as you'll see on the RB site, check out their van. It looks exactly like this, if not worse. Like sometimes they have a shower in there because they have the longer 170-inch wheelbase. That's cool. You know, if I was gonna redo one from scratch, I would do the longer wheelbase. Maybe not the 170 because that's pretty long, but I would do the one in between, the one that the Winnebago Bolt is based on. I think is a great mid-size. Gives you a bit more space for a bed, and it gives you the option of putting a closed-in bathroom, which would have been nice. It's kind of awkward sometimes. You just have to ask your partner to go outside the van when you want to go to the bathroom. It's kind of annoying, but yeah, overall it's been an absolute gem of a vehicle. We've used it, like I said, every day. We've been on 4 or 5 trips down to SoCal with it. You know, we rent Airbnbs and we use the van as our daily, and sometimes we just go on weekend adventure down the desert, ride our dirt bikes. Yeah, it's you can't get that out of a compact vehicle like that you can park in any parking space. Like it's an amazing vehicle, and we're stoked we had it for all these years. All right, thanks guys. Cheers.